It's a fake birthday.
Is that just something you use to get like a free piece of cake at the restaurants?
I don't. I think you guys mixed up my Twitter handle with somebody else because I don't know where you guys got that from.
It's not.
Or actually, like some bit of advice: you should never put your real birthday on like a lot of needless social media accounts.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's something I do.
That's right. You're the security guy, and you told us also not to use your actual answers when doing those security questions.
It recently was Chicharo's birthday, though.
Yeah. On the 1st of June.
Yeah, so he's what, 32 now? What is he?
I believe so.
Chickies, you should know. You follow the naked humans.
They haven't posted in a while. I think he is 32. They haven't posted in a while, so I haven't.
Yeah, so I think we're live. Sorry, we had some technical difficulties, but it is official. Morelia Monarcas have handed over the keys to Mazatlan. How do you guys feel about that?
I'm sorry. I'm sad. I'm sad for Morelia fans. It hit me in the feels when I saw that dude crying in his car. And but also on the other hand, Mazatlan seems like a nice little destination to go to the beach and visit and do a little tourist stuff while we catch a game or something. So my selfish attitude might like it, actually.
I think Morelia fans, they should have seen it coming. Like the writing was on the wall, especially with, when Azteca takes over ownership, and they never really did much with the team. And then they go and they get Atlas, and they seem like to be putting all their marbles into Atlas just because of the team, the venue, and whatnot. But I think that's something that fans should have been fighting for since a long time ago. Just been trying to get proper owner, people that care for the team, not just using it as some type of pawn.
I think it's crazy.
So I do think.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt.
So I do think that the whole thing, as Morelia fans, they should have known for a long time. It's very similar with Veracruz. They haven't had proper ownership for a long time. They had Curi, and Curi was mainly using Veracruz as because he was tied with politics. So it was like, if you vote for my party, we will stay in the city. If not, we'll leave. We'll go somewhere else. So like, if you want first division in Veracruz, vote PRI. And that's kind of where it was at. And so, Veracruz disappearing and all that, I'm not surprised. And for Morelia, same, just because TV Azteca never seemed like they cared much.
The craziest part is today was the first day where they they took Morelia's Twitter account and they just changed the name. But they kept the followers, and their first tweet was: "Quien se quiere quedar en el barco, bienvenidos a bordo. Quien no, favor de tirarse por la borda." So for those that don't speak Spanish, they said, for those that want to stay on the boat, welcome aboard. If not, feel free to jump over the bridge.
Man, that was surprised me. Like, if you're a new club, why would you want to keep the old fans? I could understand if it was just a change of name.
Dude,
but they changed the venue. So why would they expect the Morelia faithful to want to, like, all of a sudden,
It's because then they don't have to grow their own fan base. They kind of just...
Yeah, but it's so easy to...
they pulled a sneaky sneak on everybody. You know, you just woke up and all of a sudden, hey, what's Mazatlan FC? Who are they? And it's just like you can tell that there's like they don't give a fuck. Sorry for my French, but they clearly do not care. Like they know that they did the fans dirty, and they're just like, yeah, if you don't like it, then leave.
Yeah, that sucks, man. That's
It's terrible, man. It's like, wow. Like you're not even gonna.
yeah,
You,
that's adding insult to injury. Rubbing salt in the
no
wounds.
empathy, no f's given. Just like, yeah, this is who we are, and if you don't
And you know
like it,
what?
leave.
You know, you know what? Like I said, and because it's one of the things that like the whole moving teams around, because Atlante, well, Querétaro is pretty much be the next one, and I believe the Atlante president is now the new Querétaro president, and I think that there's very strong rumors
Oh man,
that they're gonna take Atlante back to Mexico City, and they're gonna use a Querétaro franchise.
it's crazy
So
because
they might just yeah.
we talked about
So
this last week that like there was a
mhm.
possibility of this happening.
Yeah, well, with the president now, making that switch, it's just picking up more steam. But like so in the '90s, they started moving the teams around. Sending Necaxa to Aguascalientes, Atlante to Cancun, and whatnot. And these were kind of Televisa's teams, and I guess Televisa was trying to like just decentralize the league, because it was for a long time all of these teams in Mex City and in in the Jalisco area, and I guess they wanted to spread them all out from coast to coast, and I don't think it worked as they thought it was, but I think they went about it the wrong way, just shipping off a team and thinking that it was gonna work, because most often than not, what we saw was that the visiting team would have more fans, especially if it was one of the the big five or whatever. Um, but now I don't think this is the league trying to like making these moves. I think this is something that I've talked a lot about here before. Lack of like investors.
Yeah.
So I think it's more like the clubs or the club owners, not even just franchise. I should say franchise owners, just looking for the money. And if so, with, for example, with Mazatlan, we know that the city of Sinaloa they built a new stadium for them, and I'm guessing they must have donated land, for training and whatnot, offices and all that. Youth academy, I'm guessing they did all that, and so with Atlante, I don't know. I think little by little we'll know the details there.
Yeah.
But
Tom Marshall,
Atlante makes
he said,
yes.
don't be surprised if this actually goes through. Like seriously.
Yeah, but I mean, Mex City is such a big venue, uh, and I think the problem was with some of these teams, like Necaxa, for example. They should have not been playing at Azteca. That's just too big of a stadium for them, and they should
But
have had their own small venue.
I would say Necaxa's bigger than Atlante, no? As far as like as far
They're
as like
about the same.
about the
Well, I
following.
mean, because in the '90s they picked up a pretty good following,
Yeah.
because they had a pretty
Luis
good team with
Hernandez, Cuauhtemoc,
yeah.
Aspe, I think.
Yeah, but that was just short-lived,
Yeah, obviously.
Once, but they were never able to capitalize much off of that. But I do feel like they should take a page, and I know a lot of our listeners are gonna hate this, take a page from MLS where they were building small stadiums, 20K stadiums, and well, you know, it's effective in that if you're Necaxa, you're playing at a 90K. It was at one point 100 or 110K stadium, and you're pulling in 20. I mean, you're not making that much money. You're probably losing money.
There's small stadiums all over Mexico, though, man. There's small
I know
stadiums
that's me,
in
but
San
that's
Luis
what.
and
Yeah, but I'm saying in Mexico City because Necaxa is a Mexico City team, and I felt they should have had their own stadium, and I think
yeah.
you know, so when you have smaller venues like 20K, it's just easier to maintain.
Yeah.
Less staff you gotta hire for upkeep and all that.
Plus, it can become a very intimidating atmosphere and
As
place.
well, yeah.
I mean, look at LAFC. You know, their stadium's only 20K,
Well,
but their fan base is
and
amazing, and I feel
yeah,
like
I was
yeah, and I feel like
I mean, yeah.
um, sorry.
No, you go on. I cut you off, man.
Oh, I talked about it in the last episode how in Buenos Aires they have over 27 stadiums in that city, over 27 teams, and it's a very very small like population compared to like Mexico City. I'm like, how is it not possible that Mexico City doesn't have at least like 5 to 6 like, you know, proper stadiums? Because I mean, from what I know, it's just Azteca, right? Azteca and the Cruz Azul stadium that's getting tore down, and then you got UNAM's stadium,
Yeah,
but
the Olympico,
that's about
which
it.
was I think it was meant for the university,
Yeah.
for the Olympics,
Yeah.
and then it's just mainly used for soccer now. But that's why they also have the track around it.
Do you think all these like teams making their moves, do you think this would have happened if it wasn't for COVID? You think like teams just started to
No,
dry up, and that's why?
no, it was on the wall because of Mazatlan.
Yeah.
People were talking about there's a stadium going up and it looks first class, and it's like there's not even a team here, and nobody knew what was going on. They just knew that really a really nice stadium was being built. But I mean, I'm glad you brought up LAFC because I think what they did, it's a good example of how you can make things work. And so even before the team came on board, they started with this whole grassroots to get fans into the team. And they started meeting with all these people to see like what would they like in the. So by the time the team played its first match, it already had, its support groups that the club brought, they brought him along through the whole process. And stuff like that, putting in the work like that, I think that goes a long way instead of like, we'll take over the Twitter account and hopefully we'll keep like 10% of whatever, thinking that, and this just typically mix always trying to like cut corners. But I like what they did, and they found a great area for the stadium. And so, I mean, all that's were very smart moves.
Yeah.
And so I do.
Twitter.
Yeah, and I think Atlante could do something similar, like find an area in DF where you could like do your grassroots, get the people involved, make a nice stadium there, and same with Necaxa if they do come back, sembrar raíces. Instead of like you move into the Aztec,
Yeah,
to the Templo Mayor, and
it's
like
it's too much of
that house is too big for you, man.
Yeah, and it's like when New England Revolution, they play at the Gillette Stadium where the Patriots play, and it's just it's embarrassing because it's it's a football stadium, and they probably have like 5 maybe 10,000 fans at most.
Yeah, that was MLS in its first year.
No, but
they're
still
playing in these football stadiums.
they're still there.
Some of the teams,
Yeah.
because most of them have their own venues, but like Galaxy used to play at the Rose Bowl.
Oh yeah.
So even if even if they had like 15, 20K, it looked empty just
Yeah.
because everyone was spread out in the Rose Bowl's 90K. It looked bad. Yeah, all the stadiums looked empty,
You know what?
and it just
Well, you know what's another team that says, hey, you know, while we're buying and trading Pokemon, I mean, state teams, uh, Leones Negros want to buy a team in the first division, and they're talking about Atlas or Santos
oh
or there was one
no,
more. There was three teams.
I don't see
Who's the owner
Santos.
of them?
Santos makes no damn sense. That's one of the
Yeah.
most successful teams. Comarca Lagunera, I don't buy it. Atlas is broke. Their coffers are empty, man. There's nothing there. Grupo Orlegui could just toss him away. They're like, this team is cursed.
It's like, yo, 50.
hashtag ALV.
How many years? 1951, right? It was when they won the league.
1951,
Oh
yeah.
my gatos.
Wow. It truly was black and white. Their championship picture, man. Goddamn. Yeah,
Hey,
well, they
this Mazatlan Twitter account, whoever took it over, man, is savage, dude. There's this guy named I don't know if you know him, Alejandro Vela.
Oh god.
He was talking some trash on Mazatlan and like saying that they're like a bad novio, a bad boyfriend that's dumping the ex or whatever. And Mazatlan just came back firing at him, dude.
Alejandro
And he
Vela
said-
needs to put the phone down.
You know who Alejandro Vela is?
Carlos Vela's
did it.
brother.
Yeah, that's who they said.
He's
man.
the-
They said saludos hermano de Carlos Vela. They don't even call him by his name, man.
He's
They said,
the
you're insignificant. You're just Carlos Vela's brother, man. That's messed up.
he's the poor man's
Snap.
he's the poor man's Carlos Vela, and
And there's another.
he'll go on Twitter and defend his brother. I'm like, yo, just let your brother speak for himself, bro. Like, you're just riding the coattails of his fame and success. Like,
Wait,
you had a
wasn't it during the Gold Cup? One of the teams had a player that looked like Carlos Vela. They looked like twins.
yeah. I think
You guys don't
sometimes
remember that?
I think sometimes he'll send his brother out to do interviews. He'll like, oh man, I don't feel like talking. Go pretend you're me.
He could.
Oh yeah.
I ran into
No,
him
you
when
don't even-
when he was at LAFC. When I went to the LAFC game, I saw him. He was holding a microphone, and I think he works for some outlet in Mexico.
Alejandro?
Huh?
You ran into who?
Alejandro Vela.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So he's got a Kobe Bryant picture on his profile.
Oh.
So I guess he's in LA, man. Is Carlos paying his rent or something?
Yeah, he's in LA because
Probably, man.
he goes
He's-
like every game.
He's like
Dang.
Chicharo. Chicharo has that bald-headed guy. His school.
Oh god. Oh god.
Alejandro's just there to go to basketball games with. Hey, but that's his brother, man. Like, why wouldn't you
Yeah.
bring him along?
Heck yeah.
You know,
Is he the one that lowered is Alejandro the one that lowered the rim for Carlos Vela to dunk the ball when he made that video?
Probably, man.
Oh man.
He's like their trainer. He's like the team trainer or the. No, that's messed up, man.
So
Or dude, he was not bad, man. I remember him playing for Cruz Azul. He was he had some skills. I think he played on the left or something.
he's the only Vela that actually played for the first team for Chivas. Because Carlos never made his debut for Chivas.
Oh yeah.
So will you say that now Mazatlan is the most hated team in Mexico, or is it still America?
Nah, it's still on, man. I mean, especially longtime fans, they've seen this already. They've seen this happen. Teams come and go. We've had Toros Nesa, we've had Celaya, we had Colibris, Indios.
Yeah,
Uh,
but I don't think
you name
anyone
it, Tecos, so many teams,
were these
man. It's
teams like as old as Morelia because they were founded in
older,
1950.
dude. Irapuato, Leon left and came back. You
1950,
know,
man. I mean, it's not like they were like,
that's not that old. 1950 is not that old, man. Leon was way older. Uh, Irapuato might be older too, but that's not, just going back, the fact that they didn't have like an owner that was like 100% in, dedicated to the team, that just told you anything, man. And I don't know if the club or they ever try to find someone from the city, or even the city tried to like say, let's try to keep this here.
man, you weren't kidding. Irapuato was founded in 1911. That's a
From
long
the
time.
what? Your thing cut off.
Oh, they were founded in 1911, Irapuato.
Yeah, told you. Irapuato was, yeah, one
Wow.
of the. They were. There's been some teams. There's some way older teams that just disappeared. Marte and whatnot. Necaxa's one of the oldest ones too. Uh, so there's, and
Um, switching topics, there are discussions about repechaje coming back, and it would be the 7th and 8th position teams versus the 9th and 10th. How do you guys feel about that?
and I don't care. It just seems all fake to me because as long as you could keep buying your way back in, the whole relegation or repechaje just doesn't. It seems pretty useless,
It
especially
seems like
because
they're desperate for money.
It's
no,
definitely
they're
it's
not
for
desperate for
TV.
money. That's just yeah, it's just TV, man. I mean, that's a
It's
lot
a
of
way
the
to.
teams in second division. Even if they go up to first, they can't compete. So eventually, they're only gonna last the season. They're only gonna last that, and then they're back down. Lobos Bua,
Wait, you're
good
you're
example
talking
of that.
about repechaje for the Liguilla, right? You're talking about to get into Liguilla,
Yeah, we're
adding
talking
an
about
extra team.
Ligia. We're talking about
Oh, I was
yeah.
confused, man. I was thinking the relegation because they used to have like a relegation playoff. I think it was like the team that got relegated used to play against.
The
I might be
champion.
confusing leagues,
Yeah, I
but
think
you
you're
have
thinking.
like
I
two
think you're
teams.
talking about
You
like
have two teams promoted, like the first place team went automatic, and then like the second
yeah. That's like in England,
that
man.
finished second,
I don't know if they do that.
they would play like a playoff against the first division team.
Yeah. No, this would
Well,
be
this
I'm not.
this
this is for Ligia,
yeah
so
this
they would do 7 and 8 versus 9 and 10.
I don't know if they
yeah
did it in Mexico. I gotta
they
check
did do it in
because
Mexico. They did it in
yeah. See,
Mexico like a few years ago for Liguilla when there was a tie. I think it was a tie, like when the eighth.
no, not Liguilla. I know they've done it for Liguilla. I mean for relegation.
Oh, for relegation.
Oh,
No, for Liguilla, yeah, they used to do it all the time. Yeah,
it was when we had
well, not all the
grupos
time.
instead of a league table, right? It was remember when the league was grupos and then it was like
Yeah, I remember that. That's the whole super leader thing
yeah.
because each group had a leader, and then
Oh
out
yeah,
of
yeah.
all the leaders, the team with the most points was a super leader. I always rage when I see it now, and they're calling a team
So
super leader, and it's like you're only 2 points from second place, dude. How is that a super leader? For
I'll,
2 points from second and 4 points from eighth, and that's a super leader. Dude, no, stop.
I
So
mean
yeah, so like
Lazy writers.
so for me, if you're a fan, like back in the day, or not back in the day, but we used to talk about Liguilla. Like, if do you like Liguilla, or do you want just a straight in EPL type of schedule, and the top team wins? Um, Liguilla is just there for more entertainment,
Yeah, it was for
more
TV.
fan base, TV, more money. And if you're adding to it, then you just want more money than what you already get. So Repechaje is just the same thing, right? Might as well
Well,
put
you know what
like a larger
the
tournament.
Liga MX owners felt that like Mexico fans that they would prefer the whole playoff system, something like because they were copying like NFL and also World Cup because that's around the times they started doing that whole group phase followed by playoffs. And so if you see going back to like the 70 World Cup and then 86 when they would just divide teams in World Cups and then playoffs. And also they felt that like the Mexico soccer fans would prefer that over traditional long season. And it's they sort of got rid of all these cups that they used to play and then just focused on having playoffs, which kind of sucked. And now they're bringing back these cups, and it's like they're not taken serious. Copa MX and Super Copa and all that, and they're kind of Mickey Mouse sometimes.
I'll say this. I'm not against repechaje. It reminds me of baseball where they have like the wild card teams. But if we're gonna allow 10 out of the 19 teams to have a chance at the playoffs, then the repechaje better be just a one game elimination, like no return leg. It's just the teams that are in 7th, 8th position, they get the home field advantage, and these teams at 9th and 10th position just have one game. They're on the road, and it's just the one and done. I think it would raise the stakes. It would make it a lot more entertaining, and it would get the TV ratings what they want. You know what I mean? Because I think there's just more excitement when it's just the one game. You know what I mean? Sometimes like you play the first game on the road, like that's not fair. You know what I mean? You get to close at home, but sometimes it's just more intense if it's just the one done game.
Well, the odds of winning the series closing at home are greater than.
Yeah.
But if we have all these cups, I prefer long season format, and then just and then save like playoffs for the cup tournaments.
But
you already have CONCACAF, Copa MX, and then a potential
Superliga,
Super Cup with MLS. Yeah. That I think if it becomes successful in the future, they could add South American teams, and then teams like Boca, River, Flamengo.
I think
these big South American teams would. I think they would participate in it.
For me,
man, pretty soon you're gonna have like all the teams except 2 in the Liguilla. It's gonna be so watered down. It's gonna be like the whole season's gonna be worthless because it's all gonna be Liguilla.
Yeah. Well, imagine if a team in 10th position wins the whole thing. Imagine that.
Well, we've had it in 8th.
We've had it in 8th. So imagine extending that to a team that's in 10th position and there's only 19 teams in the league.
But that's why I think that takes away from the prestige of the league. To me, it does having that, and that's why I prefer the long season format. Even if it's just one round, if they still insist in having the 2 campeones per seed per year, I would still prefer that. And that each game is that much more intense.
This would be my proposition. My proposition would be this: you take the clausura and apertura, and you add up all the points, and the team that had the most points for those 2 tournaments gets a star, gets a trophy, and then the other one is you still do Liguilla, and you take the winner of that Liguilla, and then the winner of the second half of the season Liguilla, and you take those 2 champions, and then they have to play each other for the second trophy. I think that would be fair.
That might work. That sounds pretty interesting. But and then what?
Because you got to reward the best team.
The 2 champions play again.
So
play again for the Super Campeón.
You gotta reward the team that was the most consistent. You know what I mean? But, I think it's so injustice that like a team
I kind of like it, but I feel the first one will be seen as the real champion, and then the second one is like the intercontinental champion. The TV champion.
the playoff, the Tom Brady, the team that
You'll be
can
seeing like
win under pressure,
it'll feel like a second place medal, man. I don't know. And it's a really interesting format, but
I think it would be
I,
cool.
I think the one would be like the real campeón though, and then the second one just
Yeah.
kind of wouldn't. Um, there's already a lot of cups to be played. I think if they gave it the respect that they deserved, fans would appreciate it more. Cause I do think with all the tournaments playing, you don't need everyone to have a playoff. Just long season format. Because I do think it's more intense. The games are more intense. That's why I think, like on average, when you look at the Argentine players, they're like, especially like if you see the progression, like from the youth all the way to they're like in their, say like their mid-20s. And so like if you just take a player from Argentine league that was just from in the league from he was like 17 to let's say 25, they're more seasoned than the Liga MX
Yeah.
because they're gonna get to play more games. They're gonna get to play more clásicos. They're gonna play more games where relegation was on the line, or they're gonna be in more where you're battling for the campeonato, where it's like five fechas left, and there's maybe 3 teams gunning for it, and you can't slip up. So it's this level of pressure that you don't see in Liga MX, because Liga MX you could be on a 5-game losing streak, and then you win 4, and you're in 8th place, and you can still qualify
Or
to
in
Liguilla.
or in this
And if you
in
make
this
it to
scenario,
Liguilla,
10th place. You can
then-
even be in 10th place.
And then Liguilla sort of like saves the season, which it shouldn't. But it's like people won't really talk trash because you made it to Liguilla, and it's like what you know what I mean. So I think that's something that hurts the league, that hurts player development.
Yeah,
At
but
least in my way of seeing it.
we all know, and I mean, it's been evident that it doesn't really matter in Mexico. They care about how much money can they generate, and Liguilla format is obviously the best way. And I personally love Liguilla. I find it very more entertaining than like playing the long season format. And the champion could have already won 10 games ago, and then what are you actually fighting for at that point? You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, for the cups, because there's like I mean so if you like you have qualification to
Champions
like
League and
Champions League and
Europa.
then their MLS Cup.
It would only
And
work.
then
It would
could
only
be like
work if
Copa MX too.
it would only work if we got back to Libertadores. I think that's that one trophy that, man, if we had Libertadores, I think everything would be okay, because we would finally be able to measure ourselves to our South American brothers.
Yeah, but you know what? A lot of teams weren't taking it serious.
I mean, Mexico has always found a way to make it to the semis or finals in Libertadores for the short amount of time that they were invited to that tournament. So I think,
I did, but a lot of times they didn't make it out of the group stage.
yeah, but I mean, out of 4
and then
teams that went, you still had at least 1 or 2 decent representatives.
I know, but I think a lot of the teams figured, because they would send like youth or reserve or bench to away games. So I mean, they weren't making that much money to justify, and they didn't really care so much about the prestige of saying like, oh look, we're doing so good right here.
I mean, Cruz Azul did it in 2001 against Boca, right? They went all the way to the final. Pachuca won the Copa Sudamericana. Chivas went to the final. America went to the final, and Tigres went to the final. So not a bad showing.
Went to semis.
Huh?
America was semifinal.
Was it semis? Oh.
Only Cruz Azul, Chivas, and Tigres were finalists.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, they were showing highlights of the 15-year anniversary of us beating Boca 4-0, which is gonna always be one of those historic memories and victories in the, at least for Chivas fans. But I definitely miss like that competition, because the Concacaf Champions League is just not as good, and it's like playing against your little brother. You're gonna beat him. The MLS is like Mexico's little brother. It's just like yeah. Like it's like when you play, you let them score a few goals in FIFA, but you're not even trying. You're like, all right, it's time to stop playing around, and then you end up like destroying them.
You take the second half serious.
Yeah.
No, but I do think that the cup here, if it starts becoming successful or having good ratings, which I think it does have the potential, and then I could see them inviting the South American teams, and they've I think they could do it before. I don't know if they still play it, but I know before they would have like Merconorte, Mercosur cups. So I mean, if the money's there, if they could organize something, I know like they would be a little hesitant, maybe Conmebol, because ultimately they might not want to. But if the money's there, sometimes you know the saying, con dinero baila el perro. So yeah, if the money's good, I can see them just, and the format is there, or the scheduling is right. Doing this cup.
I'm reading the comments. Luis is saying la multipropiedad es una vergüenza.
What happened?
Luis is
You're
saying
cutting out, I think.
Oh, Luis is saying that the multi ownership is embarrassing.
Is bad?
Yeah, like having a same owner for León and Pachuca, and I think at one point didn't San Luis and America, they were owned by the same.
No, America owned Necaxa, San Luis,
Yeah.
and even Atlante.
Damn.
And even Atlante, but they sold off all the teams. Well, I would say America. I should say Televisa, not America. Televisa owns America. America never owned those teams. It was Televisa, the Carragas. But I mean, they got a lot of hate, and people talked about sketchy stuff. But ultimately, they sold off the teams, put them in different venues. I mean, right now you have Grupo Pachuca with 2 teams, Tuzos and León, and Grupo Orlegui with Santos and Atlas, and Grupo Caliente with they have Tijuana and I don't know who else. I think they got another team. I don't know if it's Mazatlan, but I think they have 2 teams. But I mean, it sucks, but it just goes to show Liga MX just doesn't have. There's just not that much money there. There's not big companies knocking on the door trying to invest in teams. That's why, and I keep saying it with this whole MLS partnership, because it could open that, because the money's going to be in TV, and if there's a tournament that's like getting high ratings in US TV, and it's generating all this money, then of course you're gonna see like the Comex, the Acrons, and other big companies in Mexico saying, you know what, I think I'm gonna invest more, or maybe even buy a team, just because now it's a bigger platform where our stuff is being promoted in.
Yeah, I mean the first step would be to get a unified TV deal for the whole league, and then sell that as a complete package to the US, to Europe, all these parts of the world. That way it's more accessible because I know Liguilla would be pretty entertaining for Europeans to watch because they would not understand that concept and they'd be like, oh, what the hell?
They get so much football though. I doubt they're gonna watch more. It's just
Yeah, but the
there's already
time
just
difference would
way
work
too
out.
much. 3 in the morning.
Yeah, they would,
Some borracho in the.
because
In
they would watch our games when it's like midnight. For the ones that are on our rager, 2-3 in the morning, they'd be watching our games like, oh, what the hell, these Mexicans are crazy.
yeah, no, I
who's
just
who's this girl Norma?
there's too much football. I don't think it would work that way where it's like the league would become popular. Just outside of the U.S. and then it's in the U.S. just because of the big Mex population. I just don't see it. I do think, I just do think the best bet is a Liga MX MLS version of Champions League, where eventually they would invite South American teams here because even the CONMEBOL knows that and they would want to do that,
Oh
but they
yeah.
want to be in the driver. They want to call the shots because they could say right now well, we have the teams, we have the all the top teams, the River, the Boca, the Brazilian and all these other historical teams, but from this side is like, well, we have all the big sponsors and
Yeah,
the
we have
big
the money.
ratings.
we have the
so
the billetes.
Yeah, but I think ultimately they would win out, you know. Here would win out, and so then they would like just bend the knee and be like, all right, let's go play over there.
I would say the
you
only
know?
thing that would probably hold this kind of idea back would be the scheduling and the distance, because imagine you're a team from Canada and you have to travel all the way to like Chile, you know what I mean? You're going like halfway across the globe for a game, so it's the scheduling aspect of it, and the traveling would
But
be.
it depends. I don't know how far. All right, because like Miami to Buenos Aires would be like 6 hours.
Oh yeah, obviously, but I mean, I
You
was
know,
yeah, I was just giving. There's no team in Miami. I mean, there is. It's David Beckham's team, but they're not. They're not playing in no.
wait. So you wouldn't want to watch who's there? Pizarro?
I mean, I'm not
And
gonna.
what if they had like La Chofis? What if they added? What if they added?
La Chofis is renewing his contract with Guadalajara. Yeah, baby.
Okay, what if they had Matias? They hired Matias, and then they had Pizarro and
Man,
brought in
I
don't know,
I don't care.
maybe Guardado or something.
Nah.
You know how these dudes would go watch. I really doubt they wouldn't. Like they would be like, nah, I still hate. No, I mean it doesn't have to be like a super long tournament, you know. It doesn't have to be like the whole groups and all that.
It would have to be a knockout tournament. It would have to be maybe four teams from each region. You know what I mean?
Or a summer tournament and host it in
Yeah,
the
but
U.S.
in the summertime you got international stuff going on, so I don't think that'd be a good tournament.
No, when the teams are playing, like because you know how like Chivas played. Remember their hectic summer when they played.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's all like
River,
preseason.
They were playing all these top teams.
Preseason.
Chivas had like a second division team, and they organized against all these top European teams. I don't know whose brilliant idea that was.
I remember they played. They literally played 2 games in one day, right?
No, it was back to back. I think it was Atletico Madrid and then Tigres.
Yeah, they played in the same day, right?
No. It was like Sunday and then like a Monday.
No, I think it was the same day, bro. It was like the game was like at 2 and then the other game was like I don't know. I could be wrong, but I remember it was like 2 games in the same day.
Well, I remember because the one I'm thinking of was when they play Atletico Madrid and boy put in like some of the reserves and all my chi
Yeah,
hermanos were crying that the team was gonna get washed. And I'm like, dude, I think Tigres is up next, and it's for it's for points, man.
yeah.
You want to look good against what Athletic, like they're gonna remember,
Yeah, for real.
like they're gonna care, And even if we were to beat them, like it's like a friendly
Yeah, it
preseason, like.
means nothing. Um
But yeah, and he tied both of those games, or I think he tied, and then they beat Tigres. I don't know, my boy never got a fair shake, man.
Tomas boy. While we're on the topic of a couple things with Chivas, I mentioned Trophy's got his contract renewed. There are talks about Macias leaving. There's a lot of teams interested. One team's from France, Lille, and the other team is from Germany, Dortmund.
I think Dortmund would buy him,
how
and I think the French team would want like some type of loan.
the problem is, I mean, I know that Dortmund have been watching him. They even showed it on their documentary, but not with Haaland there. Haaland is the hottest striker in the world right now, and he's only 19.
They can't have a partnership.
I mean, I don't know who else is his. I don't know how deep the striker pool is, but he would be polishing his boots. I don't think Macias would be a starter if he went to Dortmund right now. And also, like, what's the rush? He's barely getting his first like legit season with Chivas as a starter. Like, what's the rush? I know we just got back Saldivar from loan. He's finally back on the squad. He should have never left in the first place. But, it's not bad. It doesn't hurt to have a little bit of competition.
Macias needs to prove himself some more. Macias hasn't done much to deserve European trips, so he needs to do more.
He's done plenty, man. Come on, Chiquis, you make it seem like every player that goes to Europe is some type of crack.
Well, no,
they need to. They need to be. They need to be something.
No, they don't.
I'm with Chiquis.
Well, how many times do we see Mexican players go over there and then they don't do jack and then they come back with their tail between their legs and then all the Mexican fans over here are all disappointed and upset? That's gonna happen.
It depends how they go, but no, it depends how you go, because it's like sometimes.
No, it depends who goes. It depends the quality that goes. Like, I agree. Pulido didn't have the quality. Pizarro doesn't have the quality. If he goes, he's probably gonna.
But you can see, there's a thing with Puli. They took him because he left out free. They were like, all right, jump on board. You're free, and they got money out of him. So they didn't really care. He was never really meant, and so it's different. Like Jaime is saying with Macias, they've been tracking him for a while. They've been following him, and so a team that does that, they're more likely to give you a fair shot, than as you just went because it's some type of a deal, like the promoters are doing some type of a deal where they're just gonna, move you around and to make some money. Tigres will buy anyone that comes back from.
Well, if he gets some assurances, and he sees that he's not going to be polishing Haaland's boots or whatever, and he goes and he's going to get, he sees like a spot for him to take. It's going to be very highly likely for him to grab and get some good playing time. Then yeah, sure, let's go.
I'm with Chiquis on this one. I think that he needs to establish himself more. I mean, this just reminds me of Lainez. He barely had 50 games for America before they sold him to Betis, and that hasn't really flourished for him.
Yeah, but didn't they change coaches and all that?
Yeah, but I mean, Macias
He
is
got
barely
sacked like 5 games in.
he barely had his first like legit season as professional when he was
Same with Chicharo.
at Leon, and now he's barely like let him win some silverware with like why did Chivas always sell their players before they accomplish anything with the club? Chicharo didn't accomplish anything with the club. We sold our best player. We couldn't even use him for
He did get
Libertadores.
Well, yeah, he did
was
get the
leading goal
scorer
scorer.
title.
Yeah, I
He
mean,
did. We tied
with
it, but he's. Well, I mean, because
that was legit. I'll give that to him. I'd still like to see him more there at Chivas, but with that goal scoring title, I was like, okay, cool.
yeah.
Go to Europe.
I mean, I'm not
Especially
gonna.
since it was Manchester United.
Yeah, it was Manchester United. I'm not gonna regret the move, but I mean, I think like the fact that he left without really, he didn't win the league title. He didn't help us in Libertadores in the final, even though he was like the main reason why we got so far.
Yeah, that was the.
That was a mistake.
Yeah, because they could have kept him for that. They could have been like, we'll sell him after.
And let's not forget that our relationship with Macias has been rocky. You know what I mean? When he went to Leon, he talked a lot of shit about Chivas, and then now
we got Pelaez now too.
And now he's back, and now he's back, and we made all these signings, and it was it was the Super Chivas, and we're gonna win this league, and because of the COVID, obviously we haven't been able to actually see this whole season play out, and now he's gonna get sold. Like, oh man, we didn't even get to like taste it.
We always knew it wasn't ever gonna be for the long run.
Yeah,
especially because his contract's about to end. So yeah, I do think he could leave for free. So I do think it's either make some money or lose him or make none. But
I see.
Chiqui was talking about the Savage Mazatlan account, and so I saw this tweet right now, and Chiapas was saying, arrebatar es quitar algo con violencia, y la violencia no es algo para presumir, o no. They were responding to a banner that Mazatlan says, we're here, hashtag arrebatando. And Mazatlan replies, you're still alive?
I was about to say the same thing. They still got a Twitter account?
They do.
Wow.
Oh, man,
wow.
Who was this?
Chiapas.
Huh?
Oh, Chiapas?
You're still alive. Damn.
That's
that was brutal,
bro,
man.
I thought they were.
Dude. They put hashtag arrebatando. That's itself.
They are. I think that's their campaign, but as fun as and it provides lulls, it's still not the right way to go about it, man.
Dude, that's like man.
I just took a screenshot of their profile. I want to see if they go up or down in followers. They have like
I was gonna ask that.
They're probably gonna lose.
For Twitter, I get it, like the shit talking, I get it, but ultimately, I hope that they're doing some type of grassroots with the people in Mazatlan, because if you're from there, why would you want to invest in this team that just popped up and you don't know they're going to be around in a year or two?
Everybody's too busy watching baseball in Sinaloa.
Yeah, Sinaloa, big.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
And looking at their colors, I'm guessing their uniform might be similar to Inter Milan, huh?
No, it's purple.
A lot of the pochos are liking it, so I see.
What's similar, because they also have black, so they have purple, white, and black. So I'm guessing they might have like a similar. I do know Inter is blue, but like Monterrey is already blue and white. So these guys might have like the black shorts and socks, and then like the striped.
We'll see what
I'm
happens.
guessing the striped jersey.
Yeah, it seems like they're kind of trying to embrace this, this bad boy persona. Like, yeah, we're the assholes and we know it. And what? You know what I mean? We're from like narco territory, don't fuck with us. I think that's like the attitude and the the type of vibe that they're putting off. You know, maybe they're going to be like the Oakland Raiders of Liga MX. Who knows?
MFC, they're calling their team MFC, is very,
That's very
very like,
MLS-esque, you know?
well, hey, there's a cup being played sooner or later, man. MFC versus LAFC.
It's just why would you do
Boom.
Mazatlan FC? That's not Spanish.
Hey, wouldn't you want to travel if, like, I know Chiquis was thinking, and he wants to cover the game, and he'll go to the beach resort.
Yeah, go to the beach, and that stadium looks nice. That's brand new, and
If they're smart, they'll have really, really hot cheerleaders.
Oh, that's all of the teams have it, man.
No, you should
All
see
of the
the
teams have it.
cheerleaders they have for baseball in the Dominicana Republicana. Oh my god, dude! I would go to the baseball games just for the show,
Just for the show, man.
just for the show.
Damn.
Another rumor with players movement is Cesar Montes. It looks like Valencia are very serious about getting him. 4 million euros. 4 million euros, man. That's
It's about $5 million.
That's pocket change for
Give or
Chivas.
take. What?
you know Monterrey is not going to sell him for that low, knowing that there will be
No, but
there'll be
but-
clubs and
but
there'll be
I don't think Turco likes him, and I don't know if there's been a push from other teams to get him. And then you also
Chivas.
have to see if he wants to go abroad, and you can always negotiate, like, keep a percentage or have some type of clause, and then you can still make money.
Well, it seems like because of COVID that the ridiculous prices on these players have sort of gotten down.
I always wanted Montes as one of the players on my shopping list, on my Christmas list, but yeah, I don't
I just
think that would
I
be
just know
possible.
that Monterrey being Monterrey, and I just know that another team in Mexico would be willing to pay more, and they'll probably just do that.
I think they would listen to the player, though. If he wants to leave, I think they would. You know,
I mean, you know, the player doesn't really have much of a voice in Mexico. I mean,
no, that's a lie, man. Come on.
well, look at Pizarro. Pizarro didn't even have any input when he went to Monterrey. He didn't have a choice. He was sold to Monterrey. He didn't even know.
But this is the thing. I think because the whole deal was like shaky since the beginning, because just the way he went from Grupo Pachuca, so it all went from Grupo Pachuca to Chivas, you know, and I don't know if Chivas ever paid the full amount, and so
No, because we sent we sent Pocho Guzman the other way, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but that was just 10. You still would owe 7 million. So that was the other thing that they were saying, hey, chip up, man. And Chivas was like, we don't have money, you know. So here was Monterrey just waving cash, and they're like, just sell them then. But yeah, I mean, it happens, but like even Pizarro, like how many other, you know, stories like that do you have? There's really not that many. And then with Pizarro, did he ever like even say anything? He seemed to have gone along with it.
No, he said that he had he talked about how like he never got a thank you, no goodbye, no nothing. They just said, "Hey, you're gone." And I mean, this happens in Mexico time and time again. Like, look at Guli Peña. He cried. He was on. He went he started crying when he found out he was going to Chivas, man.
Yeah, but you know, and that's the thing. But they were saying like he knew because he was already having problems. So the whole thing was that that Grupo Pachuca sort of sent damaged goods to Chivas, which they kind of did again with that other guy. Is it Pocho Guzman or who is it?
Yeah, Pocho
The guy that ended
Guzman
up.
having
Yeah, so
drug
they
issues.
knew, they already knew. So they already knew that Gullit was, was a borracho, man. They
Yeah,
knew he was hitting the bottle
man,
hard, and they sent him out, and yeah, that was part
it's
of it.
crazy. Gulli has had such a crazy career because, I mean, the first couple of games with Chivas, he was solid, and then he just out of
Yeah,
no,
the first
out of no,
he was the leading scorer the
yeah,
first season he played with them. He did like 12 goals.
and then out of nowhere, he just pew, and then ends up going to freaking he ends up
Rangers, what was it?
he ends up going to Scotland, man. What the hell?
Yeah, dude, Troncaso, man. That's just
How is it possible that a player like Guli Peña is in Europe
because of the
and
coach.
and
The
we
coach,
have
I forgot, was it Matosas? What was the coach?
it was
He had been in Mexico and he went over there and
was it Caixinha?
threw away
No.
their Champions League. They lost against some random teams.
Yeah.
They had like their Champions League playoffs and then they couldn't win it. And that's just a lot of money for a team like Rangers to miss out on Champions League, even if they're just in group stage.
Yeah, he's had a
to
crazy
Troncos,
career.
man.
I know, man. there's been some players that Chivas bought that were just some of the worst signings ever, like Angel Reina, one of the worst signings ever.
Reina was good, but
Yeah, but
it was his
baggage.
attitude as well.
Baggage.
Yeah, because he had that one decent season, you know, and dude, man, toxic dude right there making shit up.
So as far as Morelia goes, they're saying that they're gonna try and bring them back, but in the second division, and then hopefully get back to the first division. That was
Did they get their Twitter account back?
Fantasma Figueroa said it on his IG live.
Yeah, but Fantasma, I don't think was he with. I know he's a former player, Chileno, but does he have any stock on the team, or is that just him?
I think it's just like
trying to give the fans a little hope.
he's just little hope.
Hey, real quick, you guys know Alan Pulido. He had some.
He was
What happened? Someone was insulting him or something.
Pulido.
Oh, he
Someone's always insulting him, Chiquis.
Okay, so Pulido had a story about him driving around with a Ferrari, and somebody was insulting him, and then he made this other video of him, like in his shorts pulled up, high, like he always does, dancing. And okay, I'll admit this dude has some moves, but I guess that was in response, right, to all the haters.
Well, he got in trouble because he got a speeding ticket in Kansas City. Yeah, he was going over 200 kilometers an hour.
So I don't know. That's my understanding of the story. He got in trouble or whatever. He didn't really care. So he just responded with this dancing video. I don't know if that's just like a
I saw the video.
Story.
I saw the video, but I didn't know he was trying to respond to someone.
Oh, really? Okay.
But
so I might be mistaken.
Yeah, he got it. He got a speeding ticket for going over 100 miles an hour in his Ferrari over there in Kansas.
Okay, I thought he was responding to like the haters or something.
I have no idea. For those that are watching the Il Iguia, It's starting on, I think it's starting on Tuesday or Wednesday. Tuesday. The 8 teams that made it to the I-Liga MX cuartos de final: Toluca, Atleti San Luis, León, Santos, Chivas, América, Puebla, and Pachuca. And they're saying that if America ends up winning this I-Liga, that they're gonna count it towards a real trophy.
They probably would, man, knowing them.
another Pro 85
They would
situation.
add the star there, man.
It's the only time I've seen like Puebla make Liguilla is in FIFA. You could say the same for Atleti San Luis as well. Anything else that you guys have this week?
Yes. El Maestro Galindo, who had a heart attack?
He had a stroke.
He had a stroke. He appears to be in better health now. So that's pretty good news.
That's very good.
Yeah. Yeah, last I heard he was recovering. I don't know.
I think the Earthquakes tweeted that out.
It's good to know. Good to hear.
Yeah, they said update on Benjamin Galindo. He is awake, alert, and speaking to family. And he's still in Guadalajara. As far as anything goes, if there is any other topics that our listeners want to hear, just leave it in the comments and we'll address it in the next episode. We're about an hour and some change in. Obviously, with the league being on holds, the amount of news and stuff that we can talk about is quite limited. But obviously, it's been a quite a carousel with teams switching ownerships and transferring, and it's just a little bit unfortunate right now. And I think it's all because of the fact that no team right now is really generating money. So teams that were already low on cash are starting to dry up, and before they do that, they're just getting absorbed by another franchise that will take advantage of this opportunity. At least that's the way I'm reading these things. I don't think that we would see as many, teams scrambling like this if it wasn't for the, COVID. I think this is just like just a series of unfortunate events.
Right. There's this Twitter account called Fuerza Monarca, and it's talking about the project for a Liga de Desarrollo. So I think they're trying to get football still in Morelia. They're trying to activate a franchise. Just reading it. That would be good. It sounded like it would be a lesser, not like a first division or some type of lesser club.
Oh, Oribe Peralta is going to have a press conference tomorrow.
That's right. His contract should be up.
So it sounds like
Mazatlan's key signing.
You think he'll retire, or you think he's gonna announce a new team?
I'm kind of sad if he does, man. I know he tried so hard to make a splash with Chivas. You know, he wanted to go out on top. And wanted him to
Screw
have
that. He was trash. He was trash.
Well, I mean, wanting and being able are two different things. You know, I understand that, but for a player that gave so much to Mex, you know, I think it's just unfortunate. I don't think he was ever able to, because he had like a lesión or something that had been dragging him since he was at AME. I don't think he was able to surpass that. But it would have been, I mean, you want to see some of these players that just, you know, brought so much joy and success, at least have their one last hurrah, and it kind of sucks that it just fizzled out pretty bad.
Honestly,
so, I mean,
the biggest person to blame is Chivas, because he was loaned out to us for Copa Libertadores way back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
And then when it came time where, you know, he was killing it with Santos and he was killing it with the Selección.
Well, by the time he was killing it with Santos was too late, because I just think Ame just negotiated better with him.
They beat us by 1 million. The bid. It was between Chivas and America bid 1 more million than us. And, you know, I do wonder what would have happened if Chivas would have ended up owning him instead of America. And
probably not as good, man.
You think so?
Yeah, just because Ame was more consistent, you know, as far as Chivas, with all the constant changing of coaches and all that. I do think it affected a lot of players, like even players like Carlos Fierro, where you're a team that every other season it's a different coach, different playing system, different philosophy. You know, I think it affects to a certain degree. And then just not having the right teammates a lot of times, you know, not having players that are going to be able to help you, you know.
I think Peralta was the player that we needed at that time, man, because we didn't really have.
No, definitely, but we
didn't have any
Chivas had
any
players,
juice.
Had the players around him.
Yeah.
It's sort of like Pulido. Remember, he was like, when he started complaining that Chivas didn't have players, like, you know, he's like, hey, because they were bringing in pure youth. When they were bringing in the youth from Santos, and it's like, hey, man, there's no one here to, like, who's gonna help me? That's basically what he was saying. And I need to score goals, man, and there's a bunch of noobs.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, man, you're the leader of the team. I agree with you, but you're not supposed to say that. It's just, you know, because then what message are you sending to like, hey, I don't trust you guys. We're going to suck. I better say something. So, yeah, that was one of my you know, things with Puli, where it's like, dude, you're the leader, man. You're not supposed to say you know. You're supposed to say I got this.
He never wanted that leadership though.
No, he wasn't that type, you know, where it's like, you know, out of my way, man. Here, hold my jacket.
Which
watch me. Remember, Chiquis will remember. You're too young, Jaime. Remember that commercial for that old Simon Says? Do you remember that Simon Says thing? It was like a circle with like three things.
There's 4, right?
They would light up, and you had to follow the patterns.
I remember Simon Says.
Do you remember what it was called?
Simon Says.
It was called Simon Says. Yeah.
All right, but do you remember the commercial?
Oh, I don't remember the commercial.
There's like some kid walking with like a members only jacket, and then you'll take it off and you give it to a girl, like, hold my jacket. I'm about to handle the Simon Says. And there's like
hold my jacket.
Like a crowd. Yeah, man, that's how Puli should have been, man. Like, man, I got this, right, you know.
Yeah, he gives it to the girl. I'm watching it right now.
That's you know, but that's like the attitude, you know, like sort of like Zlatan when he arrives to Galaxy and he's like,
You're
What
welcome.
number championship am I winning? He was saying, is this the number 6 or something?
No, he took out a full page in the L.A.
Yeah, I
Times,
saw it.
and he just said,
He's
"You're welcome."
yeah, but see, that's kind of the attitude you need, like that kind of overconfidence and all that. And I think that's what's lacking with Bully, because he does have, he's talented and he works on his physique, but he's missing that other part.
He knows how to escape a kidnapping. I mean,
He knows kung fu, man. He's kung fu hustle.
but nowadays everybody's on TikTok, man. Even El Matador Hernandez is on TikTok, and I'm not gonna lie, his TikToks are actually pretty good. I don't know if you've seen them.
I only seen one where he's wearing a wig and he's
With
taking off
J-Lo.
different wigs. No, I don't. He's like looking in the mirror and then
He's
it was really quick.
he's wearing his wig, and then J-Lo pulls it off his hair. It was actually really good for being his first video. I'm like, damn, that was actually pretty good.
Hey, was it J-Lo doing it or it was just like a clip?
It was a clip,
From something
it was
else.
like a mashup. But nowadays, man, that's what you do. You don't want to go to Europe. You're cool. You just want to get paid and make TikTok videos.
There's a lot of money? No, I don't think it's about going to Europe because this guy's like retired. I mean, so you could be Luis Hernandez and then get like someone to help you with your social media and make it pop, and you're making good money because you attracted this many people. Or you could take the Sage route.
Or you could start your own you can start your own OnlyFans page and start selling dick pics.
OnlyFans. That's where Sage is headed to, man.
I saw
I missed the pod when you guys were talking about that. But and I was like, and I remember I went because I forgot what happened. I wasn't able to do it, but I was thinking the second time this was on purpose, man. He enjoyed all the attention he was getting. I'm pretty sure he did it on purpose. He's like, hey, it's dying out. I need to get attention again.
There was a photo that I saw. It was pretty funny. It was like the top goal scorers for like some of the biggest stadiums in the world, and Zague is the one that has the most goals in El Azteca.
Oh yeah, like 7, is it?
169 goals.
Oh, I thought in a match.
No, like just in that stadium. Like.
Oh yeah, well, because there was the Gold Cup. There was a Gold Cup 90. I think it was 93 gold. No wait. 95 Gold Cup it was 93.
Yeah.
No, 93 Gold Cup, and he killed a bunch of teams there.
So it was like a photo of like Zague, Azteca, and Barbie Charlton at the Old Trafford, and like Pele, and it was like at least like 5 or 6 players. And the first comment is like, well, like, how do you determine who's like the best striker like out of all these? He's like, oh, they just measure it in inches.
Oh man, Sage, dude. Sage.
Oh man.
Luis. No, I'm glad for Luis Hernandez though, man, because he had fallen pretty low, man. You don't want to be at the fan fest, which they hold those outside of the Moledo games in the parking lot. You don't want to be like standing there in front of the, what is it, the Western Union tent.
I remember seeing a
picture with you.
Yeah, I remember.
$5, and then it's not even free. They charge you like $5, man, and it's like you're almost like the inflatable doll there,
I remember going to a Mexico game, and I think it was Ramon Ramirez. He was at one of those sad ass little
State
tents, and you can tell he's just like he's just like, oh my God.
Man, he's just like one step below, holding a tray, handing out like wieners or something, and you know, like snacks.
The one I went to in San Antonio, Luis
Give us
Hernandez
15 minutes.
he was doing trivia. He was doing
Who?
trivia questions with the fans. I think Luis Hernandez was.
Yeah,
And
it's
Raul Brindis, y Pepito, the guy on the radio.
with the radio. Yeah, but
He has a radio show.
they have to do that, man, to get some more money because a lot of them they didn't invest properly. I know Luis Hernandez was driving like a Ferrari when he came to when was he with the Galaxy? I know Campos had one given to him on his contract. I don't know if Hernandez was like, hey, give me the same one. Give me the same contract. But I mean, dude, you're spending all this money, and he would take flights to Mex almost every other, you know, and it's probably charter flights or these, you know, get on a G5 or whatever. But then it's like your career ends, and it's like you already spend all your money on all these luxuries when you were balling.
Yeah.
Which is why, the thing I'm saying, like the Velas, the Chicharos, they're not going to have that problem.
They just have the image problem of being mental midgets.
I don't care, man. If you're that, you're going to care.
Yeah, you care.
I posted the photo.
Look at all. I bet Chicharito went through a bunch of stress, like when he made the move. Like he probably had weeks of like trying to justify himself and sleepless nights and trying to make himself feel better and mental coach sessions with his guy and stuff.
That seems extreme, man.
I believe it. I think that
it was rocky. It was rocky.
He definitely returned from Europe with his tail between his legs, and you know, he's trying to put a positive spin on it. And
wait, you guys are missing one part. He had just gotten married, and his wifey was about to blow up.
He knocked up his
now
girlfriend.
A little Chicharito.
No, he knocked up his girlfriend, and then they had a shotgun wedding.
Here in San Diego. They got married in San Diego right before Molero. And so I knew it when they got married here. I already knew it, man. So writing was on the wall. So I mean, I think that's the other chapter of his life. He's not the single guy anymore, man. Now he has to do what's best for his family.
Dude. He's making bank over there.
There you go.
How much money is he making?
He was making bank before ever coming to the MLS.
Oh yeah, he was making 145,000 pounds a week.
He could have had 10 kids and he would have been set without going. He could have like retired.
No, but his thing was going to drop because his productivity had dropped and he wasn't going to get that big contract anymore.
No, he could have retired then. Instead of going to MLS, he could have been done. He could have retired.
Why would you?
For life. He'd have been set for life. You're talking about money. Like you justify all these moves to MLS like, oh, they need to be set. These dudes are set the minute they went to Europe and got these huge contracts. The minute they leave Mexico, they're set, dude.
No.
They don't need MLS.
He made a lot of money at Madrid.
Okay, Rafa Marquez, man. What happened there?
Well, his money was tied up with Narcos.
Dude is set, and he was in Barcelona, man.
He didn't get set going. He didn't get set going to New York, did he?
Chiquis. Yeah,
he's saying he didn't get set going to New York.
Well, more to my point, because it's not as easy as it sounds. This is the true saying. The more you make, the more you spend.
Well, that's their own fault, but they are set for life as a professional soccer player. Like,
I don't know about for life.
We're here talking professional soccer players. These dudes can.
It depends because
money coming out the ears.
It depends. Like, okay, how many properties, how many cars, all of that stuff, you know. And if
how many times does your girlfriend order Uber Eats a week?
Nah, they just go shopping at.
What was her name? What's her name?
I forgot. Have you ever seen the pictures when they go shopping before the Moleros or after, and they go to all these really high-end stores like Gucci and all that? They're wearing the
Yeah, but
$300
dude, they make that in a
T-shirt.
week. They make all that shit in a week, man. They're making millions.
Yeah, but see, you already spent it. That's why I'm saying a lot of times when they retire, they don't have like that money anymore. Like that America striker, the Paraguayo,
Cabañas?
Cabañas, man.
I mean, Cabañas
He
got shot in the
lives
head.
like
That's a different story, man.
he,
He wish,
yeah, but
he
he was like the top for years. He was like the top striker, and
now he makes
he ends
bread.
up like, yeah, with his family. Nothing against that, but now he's like
He's broke boys.
just hustling conchas, and
I could use some bread right about now, bro.
he's
some
yeah,
some
and
conchas.
I mean, see, Chiquis, come on, man. You just wanted to see
I mean,
Chicharo at the
think about it.
the-
You've been doing it
at
your
the
whole
tent.
life. Now you get to do it at a lesser, lesser quality, less stress, and you're still getting paid to kick around the ball. I guess, it's just
I think
he's always
Chiquis wants to see Bully in the tent. That's Chiquis' thing. 5 years, 10 years
tent?
from now, you you go to
In the what?
Amoledo and he's gonna be at one of the tents at the fan fest.
Oh,
You'll be at La Que Buena radio doing quiz.
I'll laugh at him, man. That'd be so
He'll be at
hilarious.
the Abercrombie and Fitch where they have to stand without their camisa.
Oh yeah, he'd be pulling his shorts all the way up. Ooh, dude. It's sad, man. I'm sad for these dudes. Pizarro also. It's just sort of like cringe, man. It's not good. So that. I guess that's the.
Another news, Dedos Lopez is going to Toluca
Yes, I think
to be
with Chepo.
reunited with Chepo.
Hey, Toluca was doing pretty good. Or at least massive improvement from the La Volpe team, and I forgot the other coach. They had turned Toluca into a joke, man. Everyone was going into the Devil's Cauldron, man, and just slapping them around. Didn't an MLS team go in there and put 4 or 5?
It was the team
Yeah,
where
it was
Pulido is, Sporting Kansas, 4-0.
Yeah, they were just getting whooped. But I think Chepo, he's rebounding as coach. He's getting
just
his boys back.
he's recruiting
And
Chivas players.
Yeah, well, Finger is 27, so that's he's getting not a veterano, but player that's been around.
Yeah, another Chivas player is Carlos Cisneros. He's also joined Toluca on loan. So Chepo's trying to, I don't know, use some of the players that he's already familiar with.
He didn't get much credit, but when Chepo and Nestor returned to Chivas, and they put a pretty decent team with small budget, and people just seem to forget he did make the semifinals, and it's like it got swept under the rug. It's like, hey, they built a team with a small budget that made the cup final, the one that Cuauhtemoc won with Puebla.
Oh,
But
yeah.
they played it with the reserves, and then they made semifinal, and it's like, hey, that's good for a team that had gone I don't know if it was 2 or 3 years without even liguilla, or 4 years without even going to semis.
Yeah.
And fans just forgot, man. It's just so weird. They just swept it under the rug, and they went through this whole narrative of the team's in relegation, if it was his fault. And I was like, where's all this coming from, man? Why are my Chiva hermanos buying into this hype?
I don't know why we always get, I don't know. It's a hate-love relationship with Guadalajara. Right now, it's
True.
the highs. You know, we got a squad. But you know, Tena seems like he's the right choice.
Yeah. And with Pelias, but just the last on Chepo, I do think he's gonna, right the boat with Toluca. I do think they're gonna be going into this uh what is it, post-COVID torneo. I do think they're gonna be more competitive.
Oh, and it was actually funny fact. It was actually Tena that said the league is gonna return on the 15th of July, but nobody else has said anything about it. He's the only one that's speaking up about it. So we
He
might,
didn't get the memo, dude.
huh?
He didn't get the memo of like, hey, don't say anything.
Oh, yeah. You're not supposed to
He
say
didn't read it all
anything.
the way through.
Hey guys, guess what? Because I mean, we're starting to see the Portuguese league is back. I know La Liga's coming back this weekend.
Bundesliga's been back.
Bundesliga's back. I think the Premier League's coming back too. So you know, July 15th seems pretty realistic. Although I don't know how the situation in Mexico's looking. It's not looking good. Not just because of COVID, but because of social injustice. Like in Jalisco, like they're just like lighting cops on fire and stuff. So I don't know if they can realistically like go back to playing football.
Or maybe that's what they need, football, so people could,
Can chill out.
yeah.
It's also like, what the hell happens to Morelia season? Are they are they gonna legit just let this Mazatlan team, are they just gonna let them take over? Or are they just pulled out for the rest of the season? Do they even have a squad? Like, I have so many questions. Are they just moving the players from Morelia to Mazatlan, or are they starting from scratch?
I don't know. I'm guessing if they even have the Twitter account, they probably have like you know, the whole squad, and I guess whoever comes in as GM or coach will decide uh, which players are keeping and who they're booting.
Shaggy.
Because that was a pretty decent squad,
Yeah.
They weren't no pushovers. So I mean, you wouldn't want to dismantle that. And if you have some money coming in, then you build upon that with 2 or 3 quality signings.
Let's
Whoever
see.
they managed to bring in.
First team squad.
Oribe. Good take.
Yeah, I don't know.
Their website doesn't have anything.
Not yet, huh?
I'm going off wiki.
I do think that they might have one bomba signature.
They're gonna have their what they call that in MLS, designated player.
Yeah, probably from abroad, probably from Argentina or
Yo,
somewhere
how
like
crazy
that.
would it be if they legit just said, "Hey, we just signed like a really big player from like Europe"? That would be crazy.
Well, like a Jensen, Gignac.
Like I don't know.
I don't know, too risky. Too risky. I think you could get like a Ecuadorian or Paraguayan international, cheaper and more reliable.
What if they signed Diabala? Diabala was
Oh,
he was
rocking the Mexico shirt.
he was rocking the Mexico jersey, eating tacos. Like, he's basically a Mexican now. We should ask if he'll switch countries.
No, it's too late. He already put on the albiceleste. Yeah,
Talking
no,
about
no. I
that dude.
think
He was eligible to play for 3 countries. He was eligible to play for Italy, Poland, and Argentina
yeah.
because of his I think he's Polish.
One of his parents, huh, or
Yeah,
grandparents. Yeah,
and that's crazy to be eligible to play for 3 countries.
yeah. Well, I mean, like Gio was the same because he was born in Mexico. His dad's Brazilian, and then he grew up in Spain. And so I think they had talked about, you know, putting him in the under 20 for Spain, I think, and he turned it down. I'm not too sure. Or and then Neri Castillo,
Oh
because I
yeah,
think he was in
Uruguay,
Greece long enough.
Greece,
Yeah, and
Mexico.
he was there long enough. And he also had Italian citizen through his mom.
Oh wow.
So yeah, so he had that too. So he was born in Mexico, but then he grew up in Uruguay, and so he had like the double nationality. And then he left Greece at really young,
Yeah, he was like 13, I
15,
think.
I think.
Yeah, really young.
I thought he was a bit older.
Maybe, yeah.
But yeah, yeah. So he had all that. Yeah. So there's always been a few dudes like that.
I think
Crazy. Yeah.
probably the one that made the biggest mistake was Diego Costa going to Spain instead of Brazil. I think that was a pretty big deal.
Didn't he win the World Cup though? With
No, he did not win the World Cup. That was no, Diego Costa, that was recent times.
who was the? They had who was he like a Colombiano? What was he? They had like a was a defender? What was it?
What, when they won the
Spain
World
had
Cup?
like a
Spain?
nationalized player.
Nah. You sure?
Yeah, where's Yon when we need him?
I'll look it up right now, but I don't think so. Spain. Nah, man, everybody was Spanish.
Senna? It was Senna.
Senna.
Yeah, but he played in the 2006 World Cup and he won the Euro Cup in
Oh,
2008.
okay.
Yeah, I remember that guy.
Sounds familiar.
What was he though? I don't remember his nationality.
How do you spell his name? Oh, Marco Senna. He is Brazilian. Yeah, he was played for Villarreal.
There you go.
Yeah, you're right. He was from Sao Paulo, Brazil. But I don't think he made the World Cup. But he did win the Euro with them.
All right, chavos.
It's time to
my
I think it's time to
curfew
wrap
now.
it up.
Yes.
All right, I'll cue the music. Thank you guys for being on the show today, and all the listeners, obviously, for tuning in. These stories will continue to develop with Mazatlan for sure, and the possibility of Querétaro being sold to Atlante. But make sure to follow us on Twitter at the Cantina MX podcast, so you guys can stay tuned. But thank you guys for hopping on today.
Check out Instagram. I just posted a funny video.
under the same name, right? Cantina.
Cantina
Cantina
MX.
MX spot.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Have a great night.
Later, dude.